From the besieged Ardea, all in post, borne by the trustless wings of false desire, lust-breathed Tarquin leaves the Roman host, and to Collatium bears the lightless fire, which, in pale embers hid, lurks to aspire and girdle with embracing flames the waist of Collatine's fair love, Lucrece the chaste. Haply that name of chaste unhaply set this bateless edge on his keen appetite, when Collatine unwisely did not let to praise the clear unmatched red and white which triumphed in that sky of his delight, where mortal stars, as bright as heaven's beauties, with pure aspects did him peculiar duties. For he the night before, in Tarquin's tent, unlocked the treasure of his happy state. What priceless wealth the heavens had him lent in the possession of his beauteous mate, reckoning his fortune at such high proud rate, that kings might be espoused to more fame, but king nor peer to such a peerless dame. O happiness enjoyed but of a few, and if possessed, as soon decayed and done as is the morning's silver melting dew against the golden splendour of the sun. An expired date cancelled ere well begun. Honour and beauty in the owner's arms are weakly fortressed from a world of harms. Beauty itself doth of itself persuade the eyes of men without an orator. What needeth then apologies be made to set forth that which is so singular? Or why is Collatine, the publisher of that rich jewel, he should keep unknown from thievish ears, because it is his own? Perchance his boast of Lucrece' sovereignty suggested this proud issue of a king, for by our ears our hearts oft tainted be. Perchance that envy of so rich a thing, braving compare, disdainfully did sting his high-pitched thoughts, that meaner men should vaunt that golden hap which their superiors want. But some untimely thought did instigate his all too timeless speed, if none of those. His honour, his affairs, his friends, his state, neglected all, with swift intent he goes to quench the coal which in his liver glows. O rash false heat, wrapped in repentant cold, thy hasty spring still blasts, and ne'er grows old. When at Collatium this false lord arrived, well was he welcomed by the Roman dame, within whose face beauty and virtue strived which of them both should underprop her fame. When virtue bragged, beauty would blush for shame. When beauty boasted blushes, in despite virtue would stain that ore with silver white. But beauty, in that white intituled, from Venus' doves doth challenge that fair field. Then virtue claims from beauty beauty's red, which virtue gave the golden age to gild their silver cheeks, and called it then their shield, teaching them thus to use it in the fight, when shame assailed, the red should fence the white. This heraldry in Lucrece' face was seen, argued by beauty's red and virtue's white. Of either's colour was the other queen, proving from world's minority their right. Yet their ambition makes them still to fight, the sovereignty of either being so great that oft they interchange each other's seat. Their silent war of lilies and of roses, which Tarquin viewed in her fair face's field, in their pure ranks his traitor eye encloses, where, lest between them both it should be killed, the coward captive vanquished doth yield to those two armies that would let him go, rather than triumph in so false a foe. Now thinks he that her husband's shallow tongue, the niggard prodigal that praised her so, in that high task hath done her beauty wrong, which far exceeds his barren skill to show. Therefore that praise which Collatine doth owe enchanted Tarquin answers with surmise, in silent wonder of still gazing eyes. This earthly saint, adored by this devil, little suspecteth the false worshipper. For unstained thoughts do seldom dream on evil. Birds never limed no secret bushes fear. So guiltless she securely gives good cheer and reverend welcome to her princely guest, whose inward ill no outward harm expressed. For that he colour'd with his high estate, hiding base sin in plaits of majesty, that nothing in him seem'd inordinate, save sometime too much wonder of his eye, which having all could not satisfy. But poorly rich, so wanteth in his store, that cloyed with much, he pineth still for more. But she, that never coped with stranger eyes, could pick no meaning from their parling looks, nor read the subtle shining secrecies writ in the glassy margents of such books. She touched no unknown baits, nor feared no hooks, nor could she moralise his wanton sight, more than his eyes were opened to the light. He stories to her ears her husband's fame, won in the fields of fruitful Italy, and decks with praises Collatine's high name, made glorious by his manly chivalry with bruised arms and wreaths of victory. Her joy with heaved up hand she doth express, and wordless so greets heaven for his success. Far from the purpose of his coming hither, he makes excuses for his being there. No cloudy show of stormy blustering weather doth yet in his fair welkin once appear, till sable night, mother of dread and fear, upon the world dim darkness doth display, and in her vaulty prison stows the day. For then is Tarquin brought unto his bed, intending weariness with heavy sprite. For after supper long he questioned with modest Lucrece, and wore out the night. Now leaden slumber with life's strength doth fight, and every one to rest themselves betake, save thieves and cares, and troubled minds that wake. As one of which doth Tarquin lie, revolving The sundry dangers of his will's obtaining, Yet ever to obtain his will resolving, Though weak built hopes persuade him to abstaining. Despair to gain doth traffic oft for gaining, And when great treasure is the meed proposed, Though death be adjunct, there's no death supposed. Those that much covet are with gain so fond, For what they have not, that which they possess They scatter, and unloose it from their bond, And so, by hoping more, they have but less. Or gaining more, the profit of excess Is but to surfeit, and such griefs sustain, That they prove bankrupt in this poor rich gain. The aim of all is but to nurse the life With honour, wealth, and ease, in waning age. And in this aim there is such thwarting strife, That one for all, or all for one we gauge, As life for honour in fell battles rage, Honour for wealth, and oft that wealth doth cost The death of all, and all together lost. So that in venturing ill we leave to be The things we are, for that which we expect. And this ambitious foul infirmity, In having much, torments us with defect Of that we have. So then do we neglect the thing we have, And all for want of wit make something nothing, By augmenting it. Such hazard now must doting Tarquin make, Pawning his honour to obtain his lust, And for himself he must forsake. Then where is truth, if there be no self-trust? When shall he think to find a stranger just, When he himself confounds, betrays To slanderous tongues and wretched hateful days?